Hey everybody, I hope you are having a fantastic day today. I have been thinking a lot about upping my composition and making things a little bit more intentional in my work. I was trained in photography as my main source of art and worked as a photographer for years and years and years. And I would say that most photographers just live with the rule of thirds. That's all we ever think about. And as I've been working more and more into a multimedia practice, I feel like I am getting a little bit lazy with my composition. So I am starting this series in doing some of the more, I don't want to say obscure because I don't think they're obscure, but some of the types of composition that I just never think about. Although when I look back at some of my work, I obviously am intuitively creating some of these compositions, but never with that intent in mind. So today we're going to have some fun. We're going to do some collage, and we are going to talk about the triangle or pyramid composition, which is one that I don't think I ever think about whatsoever. So I'm starting with a hard one. I don't know if it's going to be good, but let's have some fun, get your collage supplies, and let's collage together. So even though I would say I really do love to work square, because it's a triangle composition, I feel like in a square that's going to just be too simple. So I am going to go with a vertical paper. I've got just some, what is this? This is just some mixed media paper that I bought. Not very expensive, but it's great for just testing things out. I've got my little basket here of just random collage supplies, and I've got a really big one here next to me in case I feel like I need some big papers. I also have some fun, just maybe mark making tools here. I've got some Posca pens, this Tombow pen that I love, a Micron. I've got a Staedtler fine liner, and I have some fun Caran d'Ache watercolor crayons that could be fun. This is just a little cutting board I cut in here so that I could mix paint here. Now the triangle composition is really about stability. It's about creating, solid. When you think of famous paintings that use that, usually it's in the portraiture. So like the Mona Lisa is probably the most famous example of a triangle composition where you've got her head at the apex of the triangle and then her arms form the bottom. Traditionally with this type of composition, you want the apex to be the main focal point. So I'm just going to start off and I'm just going to draw a big triangle. I don't really know what I'm going to do, which, is fine. It's exciting. But I feel like I need, because I don't use this composition very often, I need some guidelines here. So if I want my focal point to be here, then I just need these sections to balance it. So, with the Mona Lisa, her head's here, her arms are folded here. But I think because I do abstract collages, I think it's going to be kind of a challenge to figure out how to make this my focal point and balance it here. Now, interestingly enough, if we invert the triangle, it's still considered a triangle composition, but it has more of a unstable feel. So with an inverted triangle composition, you're creating tension and you're, maybe it creates more movement. But I'm going to go staid, solid, because I never do this. And I don't even know where to start, to tell you the truth, but let me get my supplies here. I've got my handy dandy Guitar Center gluing paper here. I've got some parchment paper to batten down the collage materials. And I think the maybe the first step is just to do something bold and just say we're gonna, no, I don't really like that, but maybe we just put something there. And just to be obvious, maybe we just put some bold things down and just see what we've got. Well, honestly, this seems like the boldest of the three. So maybe we do something like, this. So these sections are going to support this main apex section. Now, I don't know if this is going to look good, but that's why collage is fun and easy, because we just have so much leeway when we're working with collage. Now, I wonder, just because I really do like to work more abstractly, if we do one line here and we do something fun here, you know, that still feels like a triangular composition, which to me is more interesting than having those three dots, boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to start with this because why not? We got to start somewhere. Let me get rid of this. I'm just using my favorite little Uhu stick, whatever it's called. I still don't know. I really should look it up. I'm sure there's a pronunciation guide somewhere. And this paper I love. I got it in Italy. I was in Venice, oh goodness, in 2023. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. And they wrap everything in such beautiful paper. And I was like, well, you know, I'm saving every scrap of this. I'm gonna roll this down. There we go. All right, so we've got our starting point. I don't know why I'm capping that. I'm going to need it in 2 seconds. Let's see. What can I do to make this interesting? There's this fun leaf that I could put kind of coming up to the top. That could be interesting and fun. Maybe I mirror it to make the left side really strong and keep the right side. Maybe something like that could be fun. I don't know, why not? I think I need to cut this out though. I don't want so much paper around it. I love this calligraphy paper and I do a lot of jelly prints on it, but unless I'm working in encaustic, it does not go transparent enough for my taste in when I just do the glue collage. But for encaustic, it's fantastic because it doesn't go completely away, but it goes translucent enough that you can blend in the edges, which I love creating those layers with the wax. I'm actually teaching a class this summer about collage and encaustic that's going to be all about using that transparency. So I think it's going to be a really fun class. So oh, that's cool. And hopefully this yellow will come through. Would it be more interesting just dripping down? Oh, I love that. I love it when I can just create this, just touching those layers, creating that tension with edges against edges. I think that's cool. We're going to try that. My favorite thing about collage is that it's just all very reactive for me. I don't do, at least not yet, I don't really do collages where I know what I'm doing before I start. I just put stuff down and see what happens. Oh, I like that a lot. I have been on kind of a yellow kick lately. Yellow was one of my dad's favorite colors. He passed away oh goodness, 2 years ago now. And so it just always makes me think of him, which is lovely. I have this fun paper I got at Seattle Restore. I like the numbers. I wonder if we can do something fun with that. Ooh, that would be fun. I'm just cutting up a storm today. Usually I don't cut my collage, I usually just tear, but I feel like with the pyramid composition, a little more precision is called for. I need my little scissors, but I don't know what I did with them. I don't know, is that too obvious? Maybe. Maybe I just cut it a little shorter. Maybe it just runs along the bottom. I don't know. Oh, that's pretty nice. I like that. Isn't it funny how like you put things down and I don't know, it just doesn't sing, it just doesn't seem to work, and then you put it somewhere else and it looks amazing. And you're like, oh my gosh, why? Why does that happen? But I love covering up that edge. I know I just said I wanted that edge, but I think I need to bring it down just a little. I'm just gonna make this like a whole bunch of just points coming together. Burnish that down a little. I'm just using kitchen parchment paper here. I'm not loving this now. I feel like this is too intense, but I don't know what I want to do with that. Maybe we just need to cover it with some stuff. What do I have that will work? I'm not very organized with my collage materials. They're just all in piles. But one of these days, I'm going to, I have this commercial bread tray that I want to get powder coated, and then I can put my collage stuff in there using layers and layers. Maybe I need to build up the triangle more. Yeah. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work. What is this? Kind of like that. It's just not quite big enough. Maybe we just take this off, if I can. Oh, a little beauty of collage. I don't know. Or maybe it's just really subtle. Like, is that still a triangular collage? Or a triangular, is this still a triangular composition? I'm not sure, but I kind of like that. We'll see. This is just a jelly plate print, I think with Aqua inks. I don't do jelly plate with acrylic because I can't embed it in my encaustic, but Aqua inks work great. I like this. It's still a triangular composition, but is it enough? I mean, I'm not a minimalist collagist. I see these incredible artists who just put down like one or two pieces of paper and it looks amazing. I don't know. I like to keep working, I guess. I mean, isn't that sort of one of the issues with art in general? Like, we just keep working and keep working. And maybe if we just build this up so it's not a leading line to the top, but we just give it more and more weight, maybe that could be fun. We'll try it. No risk, no reward. As I say, just about every day in my studio. Maybe I want the rough line down. Oh yeah, I like that. And maybe we just kind of build a little mini triangle here. Let's see what that will look like. What do I have that can... I don't want it to be so obvious that it's like the triangle. I want it to be, so I think we just need to trim this down. This is actually a photograph I took in Santa Fe of just, I think I trimmed it too much, of a, it was just like an old, weird, like utility box that someone had painted, and it was just so fun. I was like, oh, I need to take a picture of that. And then I don't typically use other people's work in my collage work, but this is just for fun. This is not going on the website or anything. I guess I don't think it is. I'm gonna overlap just a bit. That's too soon. This orange is fun. That's a little intense though. I wonder if I have more yellow. I really have got to get into the studio. Ooh, here's some fun yellow. I have a couple of Lubitel cameras and I sacrificed the directions. I might regret that, but oh well. I mean, that could like come up around the, I don't know. Is that cool or is that just, don't know. I want to maybe trim that off and trim this off a little. I like how it's just like cuddling around. Maybe I need to just make it, I do like the torn edge. I don't know if I can tear it how I want to tear it, but let's see if we can make this a little rounder. I just want it to come around that edge. It's really brittle paper, which is good if you're tearing. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool. I think maybe this needs to be a little sharper. I don't know. Maybe we just put it here and let it cross over. Or maybe it needs to be like there, and then we need something. We got this. I don't know. This is probably painful for all of you to watch me just try to make decisions. Oh, there we go. Here's some red. Okay. I'm going to go with that. And then maybe we just touch it. I think I need to cut it. I think it's just too rough. Let's cut this. Oh, this black might be a little much. Not loving it. Maybe just this little piece of fabric. I don't know with the cutting it down. Maybe we just cut it. These scissors are terrible with fabric. This is some rayon fabric. It actually goes really well in encaustic. It just has a very interesting texture with the wax. Other way. It's very stretchy though, as rayon is apt to be. I can kind of make some movement. I don't know, I think we need something. Maybe, well, the orange is too much. Maybe just something subtle. Maybe we just do that. I don't know. I don't know if I like this. That is for darn sure, but we've got our triangle. What do we need? I wonder if we take some white Posca pen. And we're just gonna, this pen's not working very well. Let's see. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just going to do some. I don't know, still kind of hating it. What can we do? We got some fun newspaper. Oh, I like that. Let's see if that will help bring this composition a little bit better together. Like I said, this is not one that I use very often. It's not the easiest, to tell you the truth. It's kind of a... I mean, I guess if I was doing a portrait, it would make more sense. But with an abstract composition, I feel like it's just a little blah. But maybe it's because like it's just surrounded by white. Maybe we need some subtle areas on the outside to tie it together more. Like things that, maybe I need to build the whole thing up and then I'll be happy. I'll try that. I think sometimes I forget that we can use white paper to just bring some subtlety to the design. Not everything has to be so in your face. Oh, I had some, I think it's over here. I have some kind of abstract kind of shapes that could be fun. These are some jelly prints from my dogwood tree, which every year, once the flowers start getting soft, they make great prints. This, of course, is the first one, right? The negative print, and then you go in and take off the flowers and get the beautiful texture. I will say, I don't think I'm going to love this collage no matter what I do to it, but we're going to persevere just a little bit longer. I don't want to bore you too much. I can always fast forward through this. So because it's kind of, it's going to be kind of transparent. Oops, get out of there. don't know, is that too strong? Maybe. Maybe we just need something abstract. Let's try that. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Actually, that's not bad. I think adding some layers to the sides is going to help because it's just too obviously a triangle, and that certainly is not making me happy. Let me try something smaller, like a leaf. You'll have to let me know in the comments, do you like doing more abstract collages, or do you like to build a scene that with recognizable items? I really admire a lot of people who, you know, use portraits in their work, or, you know, kind of obvious, you know, they tell a whole little story. And I try to tell stories with my abstract collages. I don't know if they translate, but they always look pretty. Maybe not this one. Let's be honest, this one's kind of a disaster. But we're gonna play around. I guess if I build up too much, I don't know if it's a pyramid composition anymore, but what if we do like some falling leaves down here? All right, we're gonna try that because they'll go a little bit translucent. I think it will work. Well, now I've just basically built a triangle, didn't I? What can I do to make this better? Sometimes this is when I'll step back, take a photograph, you know, see what it looks like in black and white, things like that. I'll take my glasses off and just look at it with, you know, slightly blurry vision. One thing that can be interesting is just knocking things down a little bit. See, do I have something I can knock this down with? Sure. So I've just got a little bit of gouache here, and I got a giant brush. And do I have any water? Ah, I do have water. All right, so I'm just gonna dampen my brush just a little bit. I don't want it sopping wet, because what I want to do is kind of do a light knockback. Chalk paint actually works really great with this. So if I just knock some of this back. Sometimes this can add some cohesiveness when you've got too many disparate areas in your collage. And you can blur the edges. Where's my gouache? I think I need a little more. This is what, Winsor Newton. I have a ton of different whites. This is zinc white. I've tried them all. I've tried permanent white, zinc white, and titanium white. And honestly, with gouache, I cannot tell the difference. I know that zinc white's supposed to be more translucent, and titanium white's supposed to be a little bit bluer, I guess, a little more chalky, but honestly, I've tried them all, and I can't say I can tell the difference in gouache. In caustic, definitely. I think by kind of blending some of these colors back, it's giving me a little bit more abstraction, which I like. Kind of blur the edges a little bit. I'm already liking this better. Maybe it's getting a little too pale. Let's stay there. All right. And I think we just need to let that dry for a second. So I can kind of erase my lines here too. All right, I'm liking that a little bit better. It's just a little bit less in your face. A little more subtle. The leaf is more important now, which I think was, you know, it's kind of the main focal point. I'm going to get a blow dryer and dry this real quick and we'll finish this up. All right, I'm back. Been thinking a little bit about what this needs. You know, I don't have any really tiny shapes. And so I'm wondering if maybe we just do a little smattering of some fun little shapes here. Or maybe they just kind of pepper along the bottom here. I don't want them all to be too strong, but something like this. Maybe something really like this kind of wackadoodle shape here. Oh, that seems like too much. This seems too bright. Is this yellow behind here? I don't know. Maybe they should all just be black. I don't know. Okay, my sleeves are in the way. All right, we're gonna just make some tiny little black dots here. Close to go. Okay. Kind of like this abstract shape. That's kind of fun. This is too close together, I think. Let's give it a little separation. Let's see. This is kind of a fun shape. Oh, that's kind of fun. It looks a little shrimp. We'll put him in. A little shrimpy. Well, that's kind of cool. And then I feel like I just want some tiny little lines. Maybe just something pale like this little blue. Maybe just some little marks. Give it something. I'm not very good at asemic writing or anything, but I can make hash marks. I can do something. Maybe color in a little shadow area there. And then I can take, I need a smaller brush. Here we go. A little damp brush and just blend it in a little, soften it. I'm not expecting that dark blue to get so bright. That's kind of fun. I do like to add hand-drawn elements or a little paint to my collages. I don't know if that's kosher, but my art, I can do what I want, right? I think just like the gouache, it just kind of adds a little bit of cohesiveness. You could bring it out to the edge a little bit more. It's mixing with the white gouache now and getting really pastel, which is sort of cool. And maybe just take some of this blue, this pale blue maybe, and just give some color to the inside. This white is kind of stark. Again, kind of overlay through. Maybe just so it drips. One of my first collage projects in college was dripping wax crayons and collaging with really bright paper. I don't know if they still make this paper anymore, but it was like silkscreen paper. You know, this is pre-digital. Oh, that's kind of fun. Anyways, it was silkscreen paper meant for like the two-dimensional design class. I can't even remember what I did with it in that class, but it was actual ink on paper. It was really strong smelling, but the colors were insane. I don't think I've ever seen it since. But I would collage with these bright, bright colors and then melt crayons on it. This is a much safer alternative. All right, I think we're done. So that's my first attempt for a pyramid composition. Let me bring it up to the camera a little bit. It's definitely something. If I turned it over, do I like it? Oop, I didn't mean to do that, but do I like it better? I kind of like it better upside down, to tell you the truth. I just made that drip, so let's make those drips super intentional. There we go. Well, for better or for worse, that's what we got today. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that you collaged along with me. I hope that you had fun. First time collaging with the new compositions, always kind of a crapshoot, but I'm gonna try this again and see if I can't make this as an intentional part of my repertoire. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.